Hi everybody, this is the application video for the Terran vs. Zerg build order video that I created earlier. I used the one Reaper fast expand into a second reactored barracks with a quick factory and reactored starport to open the game up. I gotta say, I did not follow the build order to the T. There's one or two small screw-ups that I should have been able to improve on, but I think that's just a way. That just goes to show that even when you're what most consider a decent player, there's still lots of ways you can tighten your build order and make sure that you're hitting everything at the exact right time to maximize your efficiency. So I'm going to go ahead and show the game now. Alright, so as you can see, my opponent spawns on the top right corner of the map Daybreak, and I start the game off exactly as I showed you in the TvZ Build Order video. I'm going to fast forward a little bit just because we know what's going on. Alright, so as shown in my TvZ Build Order video, we're going to grab a standard 10 supply depot, 12 barracks, 13 gas, and 3 workers on the gas as soon as it's finished, a 15 orbital command, and a 15 supply depot. Start the Reaper as soon as you can, and start the second command center. Again, this is all in the TvZ Build Order video. It's done exactly the same. Grabbing my second barracks, putting down the reactor, grabbing my second gas after the factory, starting my starport. Now there's a small hiccup right here in my build order. I do admit that I've done pretty well so far. I got the 2 medevacs out at a good time. I have my second orbital command landed at my natural and a fully saturated main. I moved some workers over to the natural to help even it out. And the only hiccup was that I had a supply depot that was a little late, which meant my supply was stuck at 54 out of 54 for about 20 seconds or so, which is much more time than I would have wanted. Okay, so my SCVs are transferred and my small initial force moves out. As you can see in the army tab, I have a little more, but it's pretty even. Actually, he has more at this point. So the Lings and the Blings have engaged my units. My Reaper is sent ahead. He's going to tank a few of the Baneling shots for me. That was unintentional, to be honest, but it worked out. So yeah, he tanks 2 Banelings. I pick up most of my Marines and I sacrifice 2 Marines on the rest of the Banelings to be a little more supply efficient. At this point, I can drop the rest of my units, march into his natural, and try to do some damage. And as you can see, he's really trying to morph Banes, just trying to stay alive, and the 2 medevacs I have are keeping my units alive for a fair amount of time. I eventually do lose out, but look at the resources lost tab, 1675 to 775. A good trade for me. I have thrown down 2 additional barracks, started my 3rd command center, and also my upgrades as well, my 1-1. So now we have my second bio force. I move it out, I get some lucky lane kills, and I go to where I think his 3rd will be. Now notice I have tons of medevacs. I've just been making them non-stop because versus Zerglings, a Marine and a Marauder can tank tons of shots if it's being healed actively by a medevac. So I kill the small number of Lings around his area, and instead of fighting or trying to split, I just pick up all my units. And again, I play some mind games, and I drop them right at his 3rd, get some free kills, and pick right back up before I even lose a single unit to any of his Banelings. Very useful. Now this is mostly because my opponent is bad. He doesn't have useful crawlers or duelists around. But again, for you lower league players, he is a top 8 diamond, so he's not a terrible player. So I continue up. I'm moving my 3rd base out. I've got the rest of my forces, and I fight at his 3rd. I do some fancy Marine splitting. Not that great, but it worked. I go to his 3rd. He just sacks it. He just lets me have it. He throws his workers. He doesn't throw any workers away, but he does do it. And at this point, I'm in his natural, just trying to get what I can. I know I'm doing a good job back at home, so I don't have to worry too much about this one. I let the Banelings get a bunch of kills, and I see the 2 Mutalisks come out, so I immediately throw down some turrets at my 3rd base and my potential 4th, and I take a small number of Marines that I had, and I move them into the middle of the map, where they could more easily intercept mutalists that come tracking us. All the while, continuing to macro up, I take a small bioforce, not very large, out, but I have so many medevacs that they're a walking heal bus. They can just tank. I go to his 4th, I easily take it out, he doesn't even cancel it, and at the same time his trio is double expanding, so I take his 3rd, and he knows it's a done deal, so he leaves the game, and I win. And that's the application video for the TvZ 1 Reaper Fast Expand I made. Now I want to note that the Reaper can be used potentially as a scouting or harassing device, but I would only suggest that to people who are confident in their micro and macroing multitasking, as it can throw off a build order that you may have taken a lot of time to memorize.